right. Over the weekend, we had another tolerant left experiment go down. Our characters today are QT Cinderella on the right here, very blurry, and Vanillamace on the left here. This is very blurry because all the VODs were taken down. We'll have a clearer one in the next clip, but this is setting up the whole situation. What is the controversy? Let's see it.
I'm not going to change, though. I'm not going to...
Yeah.
I will never believe that if I'm kind to a hateful person, that means I agree with them. I will never believe that. No matter what you guys say, I won't believe it. Because at the end of the day, if I'm around a racist person, I'm just not racist. I'm not. Me, I am not. They are, yes. But how am I supposed to help them ever? By cutting them off? No.
All right, met with silence. Met with absolute silence. I cannot hate people just because they hate other people. And honestly, I think this comes down to the fact that the definition of the word racist. See here, QT Cinderella defends being kind to racist. I don't think anybody's kind to people that are actually racist, that are people that are actually going out and doing harm to people just based on their skin color. I think that the term racist here has been completely skewed, and nobody on either side of the aisle knows what the hell we're talking about. So, from that, QT says, let's expand on the word racist. Like, let's just say bigots, right? QT wants to expand on this and explain why she has this position. Everybody hates this position on the left. Obviously, you cannot disagree with anything of the woke agenda. And the woke agenda says that if you don't agree with us, you're out, and we aren't going to be associated with you. Let's watch.
My stepbrother is trans,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad refuses to use the correct pronouns.
And does right.
And he doesn't understand that he doesn't understand why it's so important, right? And it drives me crazy, and it drives my stepbrother crazy, of course. But I've had to say to my dad, you know, it's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt you to say the correct pronouns, but it does hurt him when you say the wrong ones.
Right.
And you know what the difference is I'm able to have this conversation with my dad because I'm open-minded and we love each other. My stepbrother just says fuck off and won't talk to my dad. So there's no progress being made, right? And so
All right. So there's the explanation of the position, right? This is the entire controversy. I know to some people this might not seem controversial at all, right? We're just gonna talk through it like adults. My question is, why is it expected of QT Cinderella to cut off her dad, or her stepfather, I should say? Why is it expected of her to cut off her stepfather for having his beliefs, but the stepfather can't have his own beliefs? They're wrong. If he cuts people out for it, that's completely bigoted, the 9 yards. And I actually agree with QT Cinderella here. I don't agree with... I agree that everything should be talked through with love and kindness. As soon as this is over, though, we see a lot of pressure from her own friend. From her own friend in the VOD. Let's watch.
Simply didn't agree with it. I was uncomfortable. Obviously, as you could see in the clips. You know who I am. You know what I stand for. If you're someone who's been watching me, then you already fucking know. If you're a first-time fucking chatter and you're just joining off of clips that you've seen on TikTok and you don't know shit about me or fucking shit about shit, then of course I'm gonna assume that you're just gonna make the assumptions that you're going to make. But people who know me and know my character and know what the fuck I stand for know how I'm gonna go about this. So I am simply stepping back from everything, everyone. Gonna touch a little grass.
Okay. Pretty reasonable. I personally don't love it. If I was on screen with my friend agreeing, I wouldn't come off screen and turn my back. That part I don't love. But the part about her just escaping from it all and maybe go touching some grass is actually pretty positive in her life, and I don't mind that. I did show you this just to show you, because this is kind of the reaction, right? That QT Cinderella MF can cut off friends for struggling with addiction, but you can't cut off racists and bigots because no one's nice to them. Like, I wonder why. Saying you have to give grace to bigots because then it's fighting hate with hate has got to be one of the most dumbest and ignorant statements that just reeks of white privilege. This is the problem. You are not allowed to have your own opinion at all. QT Cinderella really just said hurt people, hurt people. Let's watch Papa. Papa Twitch has got to talk about this, and he actually has a tone straight take. He's telling the woke, guys, we need to stop isolating our allies. People like QT Cinderella will go to the right side of politics if you shove them away. She'll be welcomed with open arms. We could use more people that are loving and understanding and better at communicating with the people on the other side of ideology.
A subscriber if you think that that's not my job. I'm just sick of these people and how we have to be nice. How about we say f them? Well, the problem is, I understand that. The problem is if you say that, then we can't win them over. And if you want to make changes, you got to win them over, especially those in the margins. I would present the impact that even QT Cinderella has had in a very positive manner with the likes of Jason the Ween, someone that you guys actually enjoy. Jason the Ween has an incredibly tolerant community, especially in comparison to the vibes and the overall attitudes that many have in that demographic. We were just talking about the alt-right. We were just talking about the far-right manosphere pipeline just a second ago. They'll always win if we keep up this mentality. That's the unfortunate reality.
And that's the only reason why they would change. It's not a, we need to be better people. It's not a, this is the right way to go about it. We go about it through communication. That's the way that the right way is done. No, it's a strategic maneuver. It's all strategy. It's all to win. None of it is based in reality. None of it is based in trying to find the best result for humanity through conversation. No, it's all strategic. It's a game to them. They just want to win. Let's keep watching.
They don't have these sorts of hangups. They don't need to have these sorts of hangups because there is no protection that is required for any of the marginalized people. So it's a much easier ground
You hear that? We do not have to protect marginalized people. Very untrue. Let's keep watching.
for them to stand on, to constantly refill their numbers, to constantly bring on more people onto their side. Whereas those...
Well, we give birth to them because we don't have that problem. You're right. We do give birth to our upcoming right-wing, conservative, Christian, whatever you want to call them. We don't have to recruit them from other families. We can just teach them in schools that we put them into because we are their parents. Now, aside from that, why is this such a strategic conversation? Why isn't it just, this is the way that we should go about it? It's correct. He's correct in what he's saying, but the rationale is skewed. I'm overseeing him stuffing his face. Let's watch Hassan's alleged girlfriend, I guess. I don't really understand what the whole situation is with her. She is very good friends with QT Cinderella, the blonde girl who is defending herself, trying to bridge the gap between her stepbrother and her father.
I did tell her, I was like, Cutie, I do think your tone doesn't help because you inherently sound really angry all the time. You sound really, and she knows. I was like, you're very blunt. I think it's your tone, you're blunt, and it just comes off poorly, especially, and I was like, you're also the whitest woman I know.
You cannot have an opinion because you're the whitest person she knows. And it doesn't help how you come off because you come off white. You come off bigoted because of your skin color. Let's keep watching.
And it also is just, you being so white. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. But I know her. I know her heart. It's just because she wants to help. But I feel like there's ways we can do it better. I did tell her. I was like,
you hear that? There's ways that we can do it better than actually communicating with each other. There's better ways to go about finding a solution. So all of this obviously always leads to the tears, the crying, and the white retreat, as I call it. Why are we apologizing? But let's watch.
Even some of the clips I've seen, I feel so irresponsible for my own wording. I really do. And I'm sorry for that. I watched it back. I understand why it was hurtful. I've read the comments, believe it or not. I have gotten a lot of feedback. I've reached out to people personally, obviously, that may or may not have been affected by this. I just, wanted to make sure. But I watched it back and I understand even the tone of my voice is very flippant and defensive. And I understand that that's a problem. I've always struggled with my tone of voice. It's like a persistent problem of mine, as well as articulating my thoughts correctly. I didn't go live right away to make sure I could get.
So that was kind of hard to watch. I'm gonna be honest. She's apologizing for hurting people that don't give a damn what they did to her. She's apologizing to get her friends back, to be honest, who also turned their back on her just because of one thing that she said. And they take a public stance against her, and it's disgusting. And after all this, right, you think this is the whole point, is that it's never enough, right? You can't just believe that gay people should be allowed to be married. You can't just believe that allowing for abortions is okay. You have to agree with every single thing. You have to meet them on the transgender issues. You have to meet them on the immigration issues. Everything has to be met. And once you leave, it's too late. Here we see the apology, and it's just not enough. Why is she apologizing is the question. And I think it does come down to this, right? Why is she apologizing? Why is she giving validity to any of this? And it's just because it's this right here. And I get it. This person's probably saying this for the wrong reasons, right? It goes to show the apology is never going to be enough. You have to double, triple down. You have to hate all this good stuff, right? But the truth of the matter is, and I see this for what it is too. QT is only apologizing because she knows she's losing a lot of support and maybe, I don't know, some viewership. Let's be honest, that's all these streamers think about. I think that there's a little bit of truth to this, right? There's really no reason for QT to apologize for what she's saying. What she's saying is true. What she's saying is right. We should be able to talk about this stuff and talk through it. But the reason why she can't is simply because her viewership. Her viewership, her friends, her whole network is tearing down around her. There is also some stuff with the FaZe guys and all that. And they are kind of,
as you can see in the clips,
surrounding her. Here we have,
you know who I am.
Here we have FaZe Lacey reacting to the same video that we watched.
You know what I stand for. If you're
Here's what. Oh, no. You know what? No, let's talk about the real. Here's what happened. She was in a Discord call. QT said something where QT was right. Vanilla agreed with it, and then because of the lashback and hate she got from her community, she caved in, went live, and now is throwing QT under the bus. I don't care. I'm gonna say how it is. That's literally what's happening. That is
indeed, that is literally what is happening. And FaZe is also getting thrown under the bus with all of this absolute nonsense. And she shouldn't have apologized. I think that this all just comes back to the fact that you have to agree with these people on everything. You have to hate the other side. Anybody that is Christian, anybody that has beliefs that have been in the world for as long as it has lasted, they are bigots. They are wrong. They should be hated. I will say, true racist, no spot for them in life. But I do think the definition of racist has gotten a little bit out of hand. And even then, we should all be able to talk to each other. And if you're a racist and you can't, then you have to go as well. I mean, it's just that simple. Thank you guys. Let me know what you guys think. This is my first video. I'm really excited to get this going with you. And I can't wait to start the next one. Bye.